negative thoughts have a negative effect on your body. Fortunately, on the flip side, positive thoughts have a positive effect on your body. So the question is, what are you going to think about more? See, what you got to understand is, for some would argue thousands or millions of years, depending on the person you ask, us humans had to survive in the wild. And when we saw a bear, it wasn't because it was at the zoo. It wasn't because it was in a book. It wasn't because it was on the TV. When we saw a bear, we could potentially be on the dinner menu. So our brains, anytime it kind of saw a bear, it was like, it's fight or flight or freeze. And needless to say, the people who pretty much learned flight tended to be a little bit more successful than those that tended to fight, especially than those compared that tended to freeze. But anyways, the results, the point is, people who saw a bear and didn't have some type of reaction didn't make it very far. That's why there's not too many of them left. See, nowadays we see a bear at the zoo and there's like zero panic and there's zero worry because they're locked up. But if we visualize falling into the cage, your body will literally give you an adrenaline rush from visualizing yourself falling into a cage with the bear. From going into the lion's thing at the zoo, your body, your heart rate would increase, your blood pressure would raise up, your veins would constrict, and literally your muscles would tighten up. It's kind of insane to know that all this can happen from a thought. When you're on a high building and you look over the edge and you think like, man, what would happen if I got up to the edge? What if I fell off? Your body will react. Well, now that's obviously something negative, I would think. But also the beauty is, for good stuff, that happens too. Sometimes when you have good memories and you remember a great, awesome moment, you can just start to feel the tears kicking into your eyes. You can feel joy. Your heart is literally exploding with joy when you deeply and genuinely think about these great memories. And all this happens from thoughts. So why would we choose to have negative thoughts if we know our body's going to have a negative effect? Well, like I said, for a long time, we were living in the wild. And the negative stuff had to consume our brain's ideas. And those who didn't focus on the negative stuff didn't make it. So our brain is naturally wired to focus on negative stuff and prevent it. But here's the difference. Times have changed quite a bit. A couple thousand years ago, you had to worry about a bear eating you. So when you got a negative thought, you got a massive negative effect. But now you're worried about being late for work. Your body literally treats it kind of like a bear's in the room. You have the same heightened negative effects in your body just off a thought. Sound interesting yet? So trying to catch yourself with those negative thoughts before your body has a massive amount of adrenaline and stressors, and I can go into all little hormones, right? We would definitely like more dopamine in our bloodstream from our brain because we're thinking of positive thoughts rather than cortisol and adrenaline going through worrying about all the bad things that can happen. It all starts up here. And that's why I'm always pushing you guys like, dude, careful what you put in your brain. Careful what you think about. Because when you think about junk, you're going to feel like junk. Yes, when you tell yourself, oh, I'm going to go to this place and it's going to be so terrible, it's going to be so horrible, your body is already preset to have a bad time when you go to this friends get together. On the flip side, though, if you tell yourself, hey, I'm going to go here, this is going to be a great time, I'm going to have a ball, what tends to happen? You think about something, your body releases chemicals to help follow suit of what you're thinking. Sometimes you can just think about it. It doesn't even have to be real, and your body will give you something, because sometimes your brain doesn't know the difference between a thought and what's really happening in front of you. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard the study where if you just stand there like a superhero and just pose there for 30 seconds and just think about positive things and what success looks like and visualize it, and you will perform drastically better. Man, if that doesn't prove it to you, I don't know what else will. So what does that mean I want you to catch yourself with those negative thoughts. Squash them down. Just know they're called ants, automatic negative thoughts. You got to learn to squash those real quick. Like, nope, that's not true. I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to have a ball. I'm going to be great. It takes practice and it takes effort. But every time you do it, your body has a much better physical response. Because always remember, negative thoughts have a negative effect on your body. That also works for positive thoughts, have a positive effect on your body. And that's what I want for you. You can accomplish anything you want as long as you want to sacrifice and put in the work. I believe in you. Go get them.